This is The Truth, a series in which I play through games to find out what they're really like for a severely average gamer. And today, we're venturing into the world of Warhammer 40k, in a game where you play as the Grey Knights, taking on the evil forces of chaos. Today, we find out the truth of Chaos Gate Daemonhunters. Now, for somebody who is into Warhammer and their favourite game is XCOM 2, this one felt like a match made in heaven for me, so I just had to grab it. In this game, you take on the role of the Grey Knights, and in the world of Warhammer, they are a secret faction of the Space Marines that are tasked with dealing specifically with the demonic threat. And in this game, you're fighting the demonic threat of Nurgle, which is basically the grossest demon of all the demons. So you have to build out a crack squad of Grey Knights. You can make them Terminators, you can make them standard Space Marines, you can level them up individually and make them specialists in certain things, like Apothecaries, which are medics, or Purgators, which are more like heavy weapons, and a variety of other things.
The Ultramarines appear to have been holding this ground until a recent Death Guard assault.
Curious. I would not have expected Nurgle to use direct force to lay the groundwork for the bloom.
Yes, the Plague Lord's methods are generally more indirect. Perhaps this skirmish held some other purpose.
So you take control of a small crew aboard the Baleful Edict, and you're joined by an Inquisitor, Vakir, who's on a mission to stop the bloom and requests your help. And as she's an Inquisitor, you abide. And much like XCOM, when you're aboard the ship, you'll have a galaxy map to traverse. On the map, you'll see the bloom starting to strike here and there, and you have to make decisions and balance how far you can go and where you can fight it. You also have to balance that with upgrading your troops, upgrading your science, your tech, and constructing the best way to overcome the threat of Nurgle. And when it comes to combat, this game plays out a lot like XCOM. Probably going to be a lot of comparisons in this one. It's all turn-based and you move your units around. Some of them obviously are more specialised for long-range combat and some more for close combat. You want to get them in positions, take advantage of their buffs and upgrades, and keep them out of range of any danger when it inevitably switches to the turn of the demons, and they will attempt to destroy the Grey Knights.
This battle is ended.
And, much like in XCOM, what I like to do is name all of my characters after my friends in real life. That way, if they die, it feels like I've really let someone down. And as I mentioned, as someone that's into Warhammer, one of my things that I really like about this is how accurate the models in the game are to the models on the tabletop game. I actually have some Nurgle, and these are what you're looking at right now. They are so accurate to what you see in the game. Saying that, the one thing that I don't like about the models in the game is the animation. Now, I know it's quite a fussy one, but to me, they should be more shambling and hulky and bulky masses. In this, they're a little bit cartoony in the way they move. But as I say, I know that's a very picky complaint.
Inquisitor, you have located this site?
Have I not said it? The seed's energy points here, to the heart of an Eldari craft world.
Now, your hunt to stem the spread of the bloom leads you across the galaxy, and you'll encounter other factions from the Warhammer world, like the Eldari, and eventually you'll find your way to some of Nurgle's higher-ups, some of his top staff, the sea-level Nurgle staff. These boss fights can be pretty tricky, and I struggled with quite a few of them, but eventually you can fight your way to victory.
Pilgrims on a holy journey to receive their benedictions. Come now, bow before your rightful king, and I will bestow you all with such wonderful gifts. Surrender. father has fallen.
Once you do finally overcome those struggles and defeat the bosses of Nurgle, the Nurgle giant king demons, they've probably got a real name, hang on, before I get shouted at by Warhammer fans. Demon princes of Nurgle, maybe. Anyway, once you defeat all of them, you capture the attention of a Warhammer legend that goes by the name of Kaldor Drago. He's a supreme Grand Master of the Grey Knights, and he's been fending off the Death Guard from inside the warp. And with him, you start to hatch up a plan using the power of the Inquisitor Drago inside the warp and your army, your force that you've mustered. You hatch a plan to take out the Nurgle threat once and for all.
I cannot afford to withdraw. The stench of these roots are plain. My cursed life is a small price to wager against ending this foul affliction.
Then we will fight for you, Grandmaster.
So you capture one of the Nurgle top dogs, and the Inquisitor tortures him to try and get information, to lead you to his boss.
Say your piece, Fakir.
It is true. No mortal can find their way to the Garden of Nurgle, but a demon will always return to its master.
What?
Yes, Cadex has burrowed into my mind. If you were to banish him, I might use that connection to track his spirit as it returns past the veil, back to its master.
So with the heroic sacrifices of Drago and the Inquisitor, putting both of their lives on the line, we have a plan and a direction to take us to the final boss of the game. And that is none other than Mortarion. Mortarion, or as he's also known, the Prince of Decay, is currently the greatest demon prince of Nurgle and the demon primarch of the Death Guard. So basically, you don't want to mess with him.
What? But you said I could have her! Know your place, worm. You failed to silence her spirit, and so she has served a fleeting morsel. But I am yet far from satisfied. If it isn't the Heart Carver and his gleaming knights.
Now this is a pretty tough final boss fight. Not only is Mortarion double-hard himself, he constantly spawns waves of enemies at you. And you actually take this fight in two sections. So you have two teams of 4 Space Marines or Grey Knights. One that stands outside of Mortarion's lair and fends off the ensuing hordes of Plague Marines. The other is inside the lair, going toe-to-toe with Mortarion himself.
And she lost her soul to chaos. We had feared her fallen, but in truth, I misjudged her strength of will. In the end, she fulfilled an inhuman duty. Kartha Vakir sacrificed herself to preserve life and carve a path for hope in the future. She did so, realizing that the price would be an eternity of torment. She is a credit to the Inquisition and has truly humbled this Grey Knight. What say you, Commander? Are we finished here?
Yes, Hector, I think we are finished here. Let's get on to the score. As I said at the start of the video, this one was a bit of a match made in heaven for me, and it didn't disappoint. Overall, this is a really solid turn-based tactical game. If you're into Warhammer and XCOM, it's a must-do. Today, I'm going to give Warhammer 40,000, Chaos Gate, Daemonhunters, mouthful, 4 loot boxes out of 5. 4 loot boxes out of 5, good. Well done, congratulations, very well done. As always, thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe and check out some other videos on the channel. Peace.